Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia, sponsored by Deadpool. He has been buffed with perhaps the most powerful buff this game has ever seen. So let's have a look at what he can do now. Deadpool himself has kindly offered to write some of the script for today's video. As always, we'll be starting off in Realm of Legends before moving on to a few other bits and bobs. Mr. Poole has kindly prepared the first part of today's script. After his very long overdue rebuff, Deadpool X-Force is now, without doubt, the most powerful mutant character in the game, no contest, onslaught in the bin, with access to extreme burst damage, and effects that no champion in the game are immune to, nor will they ever be. That's a little bit extreme, but actually Mr. Poole is not far off. We go for our special 2 here, which applies this Daunted passive to the opponent, and given we have 10 charges, we then throw our special 1, and this happens. That was a 235k bleed explosion. Let's actually have a look at Deadpool, how he works properly. Deadpool builds his slap charges in the top left, whenever he skips towards the opponent, meaning you always start the fight with 2, and on your first and third light attack. If you throw your heavy attack whilst you have all of those charges, you will inflict up to 10 bleeds. However, if you throw your special 1 whilst you have 10, you will inflict those 10 bleeds, as well as 20 more, or 25 more if you're up against a skill defender. However, if you have this Daunted passive on the opponent, all of your bleed debuffs become spleed debuffs, because, Deadpool isn't a fan of fitting in with normal things, and when they explode, they do a lot of damage, as they are 70% more potent than regular bleeds. Oh, you didn't request for it to be 70%, but Kabam rounded the number for you. That makes sense, Mr. Poole. I'll make sure I get that in for you. These Spleed debuffs are very powerful, and there's nothing to stop you going for multiple special 1s if you can fit it in during that time. Our damage burst there was capped at 12k, simply because that's all the health Captain Marvel had left. Up against Juggernaut, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. On any attack, Deadpool can apply a bleed. We can see on the top right, it lasts for 4 seconds, and he can do this every 4 seconds, meaning that you have a bleed on the opponent at pretty much all times, which is nice to have. Here, we're just building up towards our special 3, and even though Juggernaut does have his Unstoppable to deal with, we can still work around it very nicely. On Deadpool's 4th light attack, he can deactivate his special 3, which means you can very easily go special 1 to special 2 without having to worry about any power at all. However, the passive stun on the end of the special 2 is very, very nice. I don't know why I didn't go for the... yes, I know I'm a bad player. Not sure why I didn't go for the special 1 on the end of that special 2. Must have just missed the button. But there we go. So that was another 200k burst. Here we're just looking to do our special light 1 and light 2 to try and get some more bleeds in. Because, as I said, if you don't have the Daunted pass on the opponent, you will still inflict a large number of bleeds. And we want to have a look at how that can go here. So we're just building up. We're just going for another couple of taps. So if you're skipping towards the opponent, we can get some charges. We're going to wait for that Unstoppable to run out. And we're going to intercept with our special 1 like that. And you can see we now have 34 bleeds on the opponent. We're ticking for over 10k. And the fight is pretty much over at this point. There we go. Now, those bleed or spleed debuff bursts from the special 1 are affected by other damaging sources. This is the 9.1.1 power shield path. So this is about as far as story content goes. There are other nodes going on here. There's something with fire, there's something with unblockable, but Mr. Poole has kindly assured me that he does not care about any of those nodes. He's just going to do his own thing. So here we're building towards special 3. We're just looking to bait out the special 1, but that doesn't happen, so it's going to evade the special 2 instead. There we go. We're actually healing off that bleed, but that's because it's quite a weak bleed. So now we're going for our special 2. There we go. So we get that Daunted passive up. It's a 15-second Daunted, but is paused during either champion's special attacks. But we can see, ping, that was a 492k burst. So, not bad. One of Deadpool's strengths... Sorry, Deadpool has many strengths. Thank you. But one of them is his relative simplicity. I said simple, not bad. He doesn't really care what the opponent is doing. This is 8.1.4. I'm sure there's lots going on here. We don't really care. We go for a heavy attack because we can apply a taunt on there, so we're going to keep getting that out of here. This Night Thrasher tried to shrug off our bleed, but we're just going to convert it into a spleed because we're going to do that. It is slightly weird that his spleed debuffs are in fact passives, but we're going to ignore that as well. But this is Deadpool X-Force. He gets to 3 bars of power. He drops the special 2. The opponent is passively stunned, so they can't do anything. He runs in, he bops them a few times, he goes for the special 1, and that's lights out for pretty much anything with less than 350,000 health at this level. We're up against this Luke Cage in 8 point something, 2 I think, can't remember. Yes, I should have kept better notes, I understand, I'm not ruining your big moment. This Luke Cage is bleed immune. But no one in the game is immune to bleed debuffs. They aren't considered bleeds by any source. So they go straight through every immunity in the game. Yes, I should have charged my phone. It's fine. So you can see here, we are still getting 20k burst. There is power shield on this path as well, and we've got a big stack of prowess. But as you can see, he's still taking these bursts. And there's another 120 something burst. Deadpool does also have this... Right, he's not listening. I like this buff, I really do. And whilst he's getting beaten up by this Winter Soldier, you can see how incredibly tanky he is as well. He can apply taunt whenever he's hit and on his heavy attack, as long as you don't have 10, because then you'll apply taunt and all of your bleeds, and you don't want to waste that. But I do like this buff, I really do, but Deadpool has no utility at all. Yes, his bleeds are very powerful. I'm not going to pretend that they aren't. Those bleed debuffs will go through every immunity in the game, and it's very unlikely that anyone in the game will ever be immune to this effect. You know, if you shrug off his regular bleeds or cleanse them, then they just come back bigger and stronger as passives. But Deadpool has... That's it. That's it. That's all there is to his utility. He has no immunities at all. He has nothing that sort of makes mutants normal. He's got no prowess. Nothing. Yes, he's tanky. Yes, he has big bursts of damage, but that's about it. Oh god, he's coming back. Yes, so Deadpool, incredibly tanky here, and in fact this fight goes on for well over, well, it's nearly 545 hits of Deadpool just tanking this worst champion in the game. Yeah, no, absolute punching bag here. So, there you have it. My thoughts on the Deadpool X-Force buff, as well as Mr. Pool's thoughts. A big thank you to him for sponsoring this video. If you have any questions, please do leave them down below, and please consider also joining the Discord server linked in the description. A great place to get specific advice, make suggestions for future video topics, and while I'm awake, I do my best to be there as much as possible. Thank you, and I will see you... Oh, there's someone at the door. I was going to get this out without Deadpool reviewing it, but maybe I should...